Now listen, I'm about to laugh, and I know some of y'all laughing, some of y'all shaking your head, some of you are like, that's some nonsense. Hear me out, okay? Hear me out. There's a reason why I had to put this on the list. So I'm not gonna say, if I'm being real, like men are going around saying, man, I wish women knew we want commitment too. But I do think that the men who are desiring something real hate to have this idea that men don't want a relationship kind of being held against them, kind of being projected onto them. I also think that it's important for women to just know this reality, because it is a reality that men do want commitment too, because many women are carrying this negative perception and self-sabotaging, or allowing yourself to believe that because if you think that men don't want it, you will settle for men who won't give it. All right? And now you're finding yourselves in situations that you really don't want to be in, that you're not really happy with, but you think, well, I might as well accept it because ain't better out there. But there is. Now, I Googled and I found this article that mentioned this study. I had to mention it to y'all because it gives some like wild numbers here. So it says, and this article, just so I make sure I cite it correctly, was from The List, okay? And it says, USA Today backs up the notion that men want commitment based on a study from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, which surveyed 12,000 men and women aged 15 to 44 about dating and relationships. What did the study find? That men are more likely than women to prefer marriage over lifelong singlehood. I have to repeat that. Men are more likely than women to prefer marriage over lifelong singlehood, and in many ways are as interested in serious family relationships as women. When asked if they believe that getting married is better than remaining single forever, 66% of men actually said yes, while only 51% of women agreed. Now, I know some of y'all are like, man, this is bull. Like, y'all don't want to believe it. This doesn't make any sense to what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what you've been fed. But I'm here to back that study up and say it is true. It is absolutely true. One thing that strikes me when I read the number of 66 of men saying they'd rather be married than lifelong single versus women is that I feel like women think so poorly of men and relationships that they think that, well, I might as well just be single. As well as so many women have given up on finding a quality relationship that they project this, I just rather be single, even though deep inside, many of them really want a relationship as well. Whereas men who don't carry as much of a negative perception, and what's hitting my spirit again that I feel the need to say to give you more understanding why men wouldn't even have the same negative perception as women, is because when you think about it, the argument could be made that there are plenty of women, I don't want to say the average women, but there are plenty of women who have had many men come at them, many situations, many relationships, all right? It is a lot easier for a woman to rack up boyfriends than it is for a man to rack up girlfriends. Therefore, his exposure to any BS, to any nonsense, is probably less than the woman. So whereas the man may have had one bad heartbreak, right, and a bunch of maybe a few casual situations, the woman may have had multiple heartbreaks, leading her to be much more disenfranchised, much more jaded with relationships than the men. So the men still believe that it's better on that side than to be single. I also want to add to that is because what many women fail to realize is the average, there are much more lonely single men than there are lonely single women. All right? Because as hard as that is for some of y'all to believe, it is easier for a woman to gain some man's affection or attention. I'm not saying it's a genuine one. I'm not saying it's leading to anything serious, but something, some kind of companionship where there are men who struggle to get any at all. All right. So for them, just having that relationship is better than remaining the way they are. Whereas a woman, some may say, okay, well, I still can get companionship. I just don't want to deal with the nonsense I believe comes with a relationship. Anyways, that was like a huge rant. Let me get back to the point. The point is that, yes, there are tons of men who want commitment. There are tons of men who want relationships. I do think that you have to understand that the average man that you come across may not be as vocal about that, all right? And may not be as vocal with you because, again, if the man that you meet tomorrow is not serious about you, then he's not going to say to you that he wants a relationship. He doesn't want you to get any ideas. But this is why you'll see situations where a man will tell one woman, I don't want anything serious, I don't want marriage. Finally, they break up, and 6 months later, he's married to somebody else. It's not that he had never wanted it, it's just that it wasn't a match. And I don't say that to you for you to take it personal and be discouraged. I say it to you so that you understand. Don't get caught up in the illusion that they don't want it. They do. They do. So now it's about, okay, if you want it too, you can receive the person who wants it with you. That's what it boils down to. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. A masculine man desires a feminine woman. And the reality is that a lot of you ladies desire a masculine man. Now, some of you might be feeling like, well, there ain't that many going around anymore. That's a whole other discussion. But the fact remains that